Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you are hearing my voice right now, you're in the right place. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Lover's card. Now, this doesn't mean romance. Put your pitchforks away. It might. It could. Sometimes it does, yes. This is a card of choice. Okay, I feel like there is a choice in your life right now. There is, there's a matter of your commitment to something. Yeah. And it could be that you're questioning your choice or that there's a choice on the table for you to make. But this is the card of the 1000% heck yes choice. Like, there's no part of you that is like, well, maybe. No, it's like you're in it. I think you're somebody that when you do commit to someone or something, you go all in. Like there is, you're not going to commit yourself to something unless it is fully and truly aligned with you. Yeah. I think you're somebody that kind of like you treat the people that you love, like the people that are close to you, you really do treat them like family, like you would do anything for those people, And I think it really is a special quality that you have. Like you have the ability to really form these very, very close relationships. This is a card of union. This is a card of attraction. But it's also the card of family, friends, and the bonds between people. Who or what are you choosing in your life right now? Okay, which option on the table for you reflects like who you want to be or reflects what your values are? There's an opportunity here for you to bring kind of like deeper harmony. Okay. This is that card of union. I think that you like to have your close people close to you. You're all about quality over quantity, And maybe lately you've been thinking more about the future of a particular relationship. Let's find out. A little bit of context here. Okay, we have to see what this is doing in your energy. Here we have a 10 of Wands. A 9 of Wands, a 10 of Cups. We have an 8 of Cups, okay, but a 3 of Wands. I feel like maybe there's a little bit of overwhelm, a little bit of burnout perhaps that's kind of going on in this relationship. Whether we're talking a relationship at home, at work, at school, it could be a person, a place, a thing. It could be a relationship with an idea. It could be your relationship with yourself. Could be just your relationship with life. Let's see if we get any clarity on the path of the serpent. There we have a 9 of Swords. The Chariot. Interesting. It could be a relationship with a Cancer person. There we have the Adjustment card and the 3 of Swords. 3 of Wands, 3 of Swords. I feel right now the situation you're in feels like it's a lot. Okay, I think perseverance is really going to be required for you, okay? I think Spirit is saying for you to continue with this commitment because this is something that you have said, heck yes, 1000% yes to, okay? Whether it's a person or the job or the career or maybe you're taking jujitsu classes, I don't know. But you've committed yourself to it. You've sort of taken an oath, even though right now it feels like you're kind of going through like a rough patch or a difficult period of time where it may feel overwhelming. It may feel like it is demanding too much of you You don't know if you have enough to give. I almost feel like you're kind of questioning if you can endure what this situation is asking of you. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. Don't get uncomfortable by these challenging cards, okay? This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're just going to set this over here with our little sea turtle friend. We're not going to look at that card until the very end of the reading, but it will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments right below the video, okay? Now, as we look around the room here, I do want to emphasize that, yes, these cards seem challenging, okay? But these cards actually are quite revealing, the Nine of Swords here as your general energy. I think that this is you recognizing how, this is you recognize, because this is the pain of division. This is a card of separation, right? Where you're choosing unity. So the fact that we have the Nine of Swords here is kind of us recognizing that as difficult as this might be, as overwhelming as I feel, as challenging as it is, I couldn't imagine being separated from it. The pain of division, the sorrow of separation. I don't think that you want to be separated from this, whether it's your work, your career, your friend, your family members, your romantic partner, whatever it is. It may be challenging, it may be overwhelming, it may be difficult, you may be just kind of like grumbling and really maybe even just pissed off about it, but you couldn't imagine walking away. Yeah. So that's very revealing to me. And of course, that Three of Swords to me feels like we are recommitting ourselves to that union. To me, the Three of Swords feels like a promise. It feels like we are restating our oath. Yeah. And we even have Saturn here too. This is Saturn in Libra. It's a very binding in this relationship. We are bound to something. The Eight of Cups is Saturn in Pisces. We are also bound to something with the Saturn energy. Even though it feels like right now something isn't quite working, these cups here with the Eight of Cups, they're not really holding water, are they? They're chipped. They're cracked. They've seen better days. And this might be how you feel right now. Feeling like this relationship has seen better days. But see, you're not just walking away from this. I feel like this is in this particular position, especially for you, Aquarius, because it's telling you that you're not walking away from this, you're going to fix this. You're not just going to throw away these cups because they're a little chipped and broken and they don't look brand new. You don't just throw something away. You're going to polish it up. You're going to glue it back together if you have to. You're going to repair this situation, the relationship, whether it's a friend, family member, coworker, whether it's a relationship between you and, I don't know, maybe your car, right? We have the Chariot here in your relationship position. It could be this is your experience with your vehicle. And it could be that your vehicle has seen better days, right? We've all been there. But instead of getting rid of the car, you're going to fix the car. Because you care about the car. You like the car. You want to be with that car. Just because it's idling kind of rough and the transmission is slipping and all this stuff, leaking some fluid or whatever, you're going to fix it. You're not going to throw it away. Okay. So anyway, we've got major arcana cards. And the majors tell a story too. You've committed. You said yes. You've married yourself to this car. And the adjustment card here in the position of the fear, worry, concern, I think part of you is kind of saying, oh gosh, did I make the wrong decision? Did I commit to the wrong thing? But ultimately, the adjustment card is you figuring out, with your higher wisdom and discernment, how do I fix this? What do I have to change? What do I have to, how do I course correct in order to fix this? to get things back on track, to get things fixed up. Yeah. And then, of course, the Chariot card is your determination. This is your feeling like, I'm not going to take a loss here. I'm going to do whatever it takes to be victorious, to triumph over this, challenging situation. It could be your work. It could be that this is a very difficult project that you're involved with. It could be it's a very just difficult time of year for you. It doesn't have to be one very particular person. It could be that this is your training or your jiu-jitsu class or something, and it's starting to feel kind of overwhelming. You're starting to not enjoy it all that much. Your relationship with it has seen better days. Okay, so I hope that's clear in explaining some of these energies. So we've got fire and fire and fire. We've got some water. We've got some air. We don't have any earth cards. Why is that? Well, because it doesn't matter what this is. And also, it's not about the thing. It's not about the person. It's not about jiu-jitsu. It's not about the car. It's about your relationship with the car. Your relationship with the thing. Your relationship with the person. It's not about the person. I'm not saying that person's seen better days. I'm saying your relationship with them could use a little bit of work. Maybe we have to communicate more. Maybe we've got to share our feelings more. Maybe we just have to go and spend more time with that person or that thing or that car. Okay? Maybe there are other things going on in your life that are affecting your relationship with that person. You see, it's not about the person. So no Pentacles cards. And that makes perfect sense to me. But let's talk about the Lover's card for one quick moment, just to recap on this card. Because this is about the choice. This is about you saying yes to something that feels aligned with your soul. It's a commitment, it's a marriage, it is a contract, it's an agreement, it's I bought the car, it's mine now, it's in my name, or I'm making the payments on it, or whatever it could be, right? And so I'm not going to just throw it away because I've committed to it. And if I've committed to it, I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu class because I've already signed up. I said I was going to go. I made the commitment to myself, to Lenore, and to the gym that we go to. Cato Jiu-Jitsu, Mankato, Minnesota, if anybody's interested. And so we're not giving up on that because I've made this choice. We've committed in a moment of clarity. But now that we're feeling the overwhelm, oh gosh, now I actually have to go and do all this stuff, and it's starting to feel like too much. See, the 10 of Wands here is a card called oppression. It means overload. It means I'm feeling like I can't get ahead of this thing. I can't keep myself sort of out in front of it. And it may start feeling like we're burning out on it. It's a burden. It's kind of like, oh, it's one more thing I got to go do. It may feel as if we're carrying a backpack full of bricks, and it's just a lot. I just want life to be easier, but now I've got to go and I've got to work out for 45 minutes, wrestling around with people. I think that if this were the energy, the constant energy, 24/7, it would be very reasonable to say, I can't handle this. It's too much all the time. I need to walk away. I don't feel like that's what's happening here, but I feel like that's kind of where you are. You're saying, is it always going to feel like this? Is it always going to feel like I'm carrying a lot more weight and a lot more responsibility than I need to? Maybe it's emotionally, maybe practically, financially. Maybe this is just like, is it always going to feel this difficult? You're really feeling the weight of it, you see. And sometimes with this, we need to kind of share our feelings and say, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed by life right now, and it's affecting my relationships, or it's affecting my motivation, or it's affecting my commitment, and I'm committed to this thing fully, 1,000% committed, but it's getting hard for me to get up and go do it because it's just too much. It may be that you just simply need to rest. You can't, stay up all night and work all day and then still go to jiu-jitsu in the evening and have any energy at all. So it may be that you have to rearrange some things in the other parts of your life so that you have sort of fresh energy for this relationship, you see. And so if we're burning the candle at both ends, and we go to work and we're just tired at work and we're just not performing very well, we're not motivated, I'm not interested, okay? So we got to think of the priorities. If your priority is this relationship, well, then we're going to have to rearrange some things in other parts of our day so that when I go and I'm doing that relationship, I can be present and I can be awake and I can be somewhat energized, you see. And I think that we'll do that if we prioritize that situation. And so we'll be able to put in that work to get through this rough period of time. So it could be that the relationship itself is feeling like smothering, too much, all at once, everything just kind of piled on too quickly. Okay, could be. It could be that there are, like I said, other areas of your life that need attention so that you can feel more motivated to go do the thing. It's like me with jiu-jitsu. If I don't sleep well at night and I wake up too early and I have a rough day, filming, things are going wrong, lights are going out, cameras are malfunctioning, and it's very stressful and I don't really eat enough or whatever the case is, then when it's time for jiu-jitsu class come 6:30 in the evening, I've already had a 12-hour day, literally, I might say, oh, I don't want to do it. I'm tired. It feels like it's just piling on to me. However, I've committed to that. And I've prioritized that. I say, that's something that I want to do. I need to do it, and I've committed. I've taken that oath, And so it just means that, okay, I guess I just have to try to sleep better at night. I have to just push through maybe. I've got to do better about eating some kind of a lunch during the middle of the day. And I maybe have to rearrange some other obligations or responsibilities so that when I get to jiu-jitsu class, I actually want to do it. And I put in the effort and I focus and I sometimes you just have to push through it though, sometimes. And I think maybe that's part of our 9 of Wands here is just kind of pushing through because this is your resilience. This is your ability to endure. You are a lot stronger than you think, okay? I think that the overwhelming energy that you feel right now, I don't think it's going to last forever. If it were, then probably it would be wise for you to reconsider things. But I feel like you're very capable of rearranging things if you need to, or you're very capable of pushing through this difficult period of time. Okay, and get to some easier days. You're tired, yeah, but you're not done. Okay. So I think you also are someone who will protect what you've built. See, this to me feels like resolve. This is your backbone. This is your ability to stand tall and say, I'm tired, but I have willpower. I shouldn't have stayed up so late last night eating ice cream, but I'm here now. I'm going to do it. I'm going to push through, and it's going to be okay. So, I feel that you're protecting something that you've prioritized. And even if we're discouraged right now and we feel run down, worn down physically, mentally, emotionally, kind of feel like all of the above, you're still going to muster the strength needed to focus and to get it done. Okay? You're resisting that sort of pressure to fold, right? This is a lot of pressure that it's trying to make you fold. It's trying to get you to quit. It's kind of like, I don't know if you do any kind, I don't know if you've been military or something like that. I'm kind of getting a vibe that some of you have been in some kind of very intense training like that. And I kind of feel like this is like the drill sergeant or like the Bud SEAL training or something where they're trying to get you to quit. And you have to resist that and say, no, I'm not quitting, right? This is a very resilient card. This is you saying, I can do this. But yeah, I think you have to say no to other demands that may be draining your energy. You don't have infinite energy. You don't have infinite willpower. But you are a lot stronger than you realize. Okay? You have a commitment here, and that commitment is guided by wisdom. That's what endurance is. Commitment, guided by the wisdom, your ability to apportion things, to divvy things up, to allocate energy to where it needs to go. You have that ability, you have that wisdom. And of course you have the strength and the stamina. And you can adjust your posture, you can control your breath, you can optimize your environment so that it can support your will. Because this is your will. Yeah. And remember how many times that you've survived hard phases before. Okay. So we keep pushing here. Now, in the background, we have that Ten of Cups. And I think the Ten of Cups really is like, maybe at first this was absolute bliss at one point. Okay? At one point, because the Ten of Cups is satiety. Okay? This is full contentment, peak emotion, completion. This is overflow. This was a moment of that kind of togetherness that like gave you that feeling of this is what I've always wanted. Yeah. And so you've chosen that. And I think that it was, this was like a peak feeling of bliss and contentment and joy, and it was, it was kind of like it felt good. It felt perfect. Yeah. But I feel that now now it feels overwhelming. Now it feels like there's too much of something. Okay. But this is still kind of like that good feeling that you remember and you want to get back to this. I think you will get back to this. Life happens in cycles. There are phases. There are seasons. You're in a rough season right now. You're not giving up. It's like the stock market. When things get kind of rough in the stock market, you don't bail. You stick with it because you know that we're going to come out of the trough eventually. I feel like we're just in the trough now. Yeah. We're going to get out of the trough. And things are going to get back to being good again. Because you remember, don't forget how this has felt. Okay. This felt like your cup was overflowing. This was like you have more than enough of love here and connection and whatever this, whatever the situation is for you. It felt unbelievably great. And it will feel this way again. But it's just, it's because of the 8. It's just we've gotten worn down a little bit. And we're kind of emotionally feeling a little bit burned out. It's like, I remember how good it felt, but now I'm just tired. And, I still love it. I'm still committed to it, but I'm just tired. It's almost like we're saying, I don't have it in me. Well, you do have it in you. And this situation, your relationship still has it in it. But right now is that difficult phase. Okay? Where you're not walking away from this. We're staying here, we're reconnecting with this, and we're going to fix it. But I think you're tired. And I think that in some ways we're feeling like this doesn't satisfy me anymore. And obviously because we're burned out. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we're just drained. And so we need to do things we need to rest. We need to rearrange some things in life so that we don't feel so drained that we're this close to giving up on something that we absolutely want to commit to. Give up other stuff before you give this up, Your energy is dipping. We're in the trough. And you don't have to force it. You can be honest about this feeling, and it doesn't have to be, it's like, what, right now I'm not feeling it. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stay committed, but I'm not feeling it right now. Okay. That doesn't mean we're quitting, doesn't mean we're giving up. I think that you're sort of asking yourself that question, like, do I still care about this thing? And when we're in this feeling, like, trust me, this is not the energy where you need to be making any major decisions. This is like when my daughter goes to jiu-jitsu and she's had a really rough day and she's really tired and she didn't eat very well, or she had problems with her friends and school was tough and the homework was rough. And she gets to class and she said, I hate jiu-jitsu. I don't want to do it anymore. I hate the people. I hate you. I hate everybody. Get me out of here, She doesn't mean it. Maybe she means it in the moment. But then if she feels that way, we say, okay, well, we can maybe just sit and watch, or we can do a little bit, or we can wait till the next class, or we can just take today off. We come back tomorrow. And then, of course, as soon as this energy calms down, then she's like, I don't want to leave. I want to stay. I want to do it. I love my friends. I want to be here and do this. When you're feeling this kind of discouragement or burnout or overwhelm, and we feel like we're maybe starting to spiral a little bit, now's not the time to make any big changes. Now is the time to say, keep everything how it is. See how you feel later. See how you feel tomorrow. Get some sleep, get some rest, drink some water, see how you feel later. Okay? Now's not the time to make any big decisions. I think that the only decision you're making is to keep that commitment. Now's not the time to break this apart. Even though you may be feeling like you want to. But we don't. We don't do that when we're feeling the 10, especially the 10 of Wands, but also that 8 of Cups too. Because this is, in that moment, we're kind of thinking, I don't care about this anymore. It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't like it. I don't want it. Okay. And it's okay if we say that, it's okay if we feel that, but we don't have to act on that. Again, another reason why there's no pentacles. Because the earth cards, the pentacles, are the behaviors. Physical movement, physical changes. Now, you can feel this all day. You can say this as much as you want. Just don't act on it. Call your best friend, call your parents, call me, I don't care, and bitch about it. Complain and rail against it and yell and scream and fight it and curse it up and down if you want. Just don't act on that. Okay. Sometimes we just need to vent. Sometimes we need to vent. And I'm not saying you need to, but I can understand that if you do. So anyway, then we've got our 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is virtue. The 3 of Wands is you kind of tomorrow morning waking up and thinking, I'm still perfectly committed to what I'm doing. I know the right thing to do is not for me to react emotionally and respond emotionally and do something I'll regret. This is integrity. This is confidence. This is self-respect. So whatever you're feeling right now, call your best friend, call your therapist, call your whatever, whoever. Say what you need to say, yell and scream. Do that. You ever do that primal screaming stuff? Do it. Try it. If you're by the ocean, go scream at the ocean. I used to do that all the time. I used to go to the beach, used to go down by Santa Cruz, Bonnie Doon, and we would sneak onto the beach, and we would just be late at night, and we would just be standing at the ocean, and we'd just be screaming into the ocean. And it really is healthy. Feels good. But you're not going to do anything that you'll regret. You can vent all you want, but you maintain your self-respect. Okay? And I promise you that by staying true to yourself and staying true to your commitment is going to reward you. You are acting in a way that your future self will admire, because no matter how cruddy we feel in the moment, we can ask ourselves, does the future Paul still want to be doing jiu-jitsu? Is the future Paul going to be happy that they're healthier, more fit, more athletic or whatever, and more well-trained in jiu-jitsu? Or, I think the answer is yes. So we're acting in a way that our future self will admire and be proud of us, you know. But I think also this is about us being very realistic and knowing that we need to maybe put some other things down. Some other things that are not a priority, maybe we need to let go of them so that we can stay true to this thing we've committed to. You're trying to stay true to yourself even though right now our energy is low, we're in the trough. Okay. You've got to trust your higher wisdom and discernment about where your energy is best invested. This is you kind of tomorrow, you're showing up consistently. Reliability is part of your virtue. And your actions are going to reflect what you truly stand for. It's your character. When your behaviors line up with your values, that's character. You're moving like someone who respects themselves and kind of honors the relationship. It's not about the person. It's not about the car. It's not about, you can yell and scream at the car all you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to fix it. You're going to drive it home. You're going to get, what are you going to take it to the mechanic? Whatever. You're going to take care of it. And again, there are occasions where you're going to not fix the car and you're going to have to just sell it and get rid of it and get something new. Okay? That's happened before. But not in this case. Okay? This is kind of like, this is a situation where emotionally it feels like it's the last straw. Like there's the straw that broke the camel's back, and it's the last thing that piled onto me and I've had it. It's okay. Yell and scream and curse. Tomorrow we're going to be in a different mood, I think. Okay? Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Your general energy is this Nine of Swords. This is the pain of division. I think this is, in the moment, we want to just kind of tear this thing apart. I want to just strip the car down to its parts and just throw it away. This is that impulsive sort of, the impulsive desire to just tear something up. We just want to rip it to shreds, We're so frustrated we're just going to tear the paper up or we're not going to do that. Because I think ultimately this card is saying that if I didn't have this in my life, I would not be happy. It's kind of like, would you be happier without this in your life? And in the moment you say, yeah, I'd be happier without it. No, well, don't answer right away. Sleep on it. Answer me tomorrow. Come back to this reading tomorrow and leave me a comment, okay? And tell me if in that moment, tomorrow morning, when you come back to this reading, I want you to answer the question. Would you be happier without this thing, without this car, relationship, person, job, jiu-jitsu training, whatever it is? Maybe you're frustrated trying to learn to play guitar. I don't know. That seems really frustrating to me. I can't move my fingers like that. But don't answer right now. Because I think right now you say, yeah, get rid of it. I want to smash the guitar, But I think the wisdom says, don't smash it. Just take a break from it if you need to. Come back to it. Because this is something that you really want to do. It is meant for you. And you would not be happier without it. Okay, now, the Chariot card here in the environment, that kind of represents the vessel of this situation. It is the container of the relationship. So it kind of represents like whatever the embodiment of the relationship is. So it's like this is jiu-jitsu class, this is the car, this is the person maybe. And yeah, maybe they're a Cancer person, maybe not, doesn't really matter. This is sort of the symbolic representation of the relationship itself. And it feels like this is something sacred to you. You see, the charioteer is holding on to the Holy Grail. This is something that's very sacred to you. And I think that it can withstand you getting mad at it, yelling at it a little bit. Maybe you're fighting with your spouse and arguments. Maybe there's just frustration. Maybe it's just that the two of you are really tired and overworked and drained right now because the holidays and end of the year and all the stuff that's going on in the world. And it may be that you're kind of like, you're arguing amongst yourselves. But the Chariot is saying that your relationship is fortified enough that it can handle it. And of course, you don't want to dump all of your emotions onto the other thing. If it is a person, you don't want to do that to them. But I think that if it is a person, they can handle you venting to them. The relationship could survive that. But I think it's better to scream into the void or into the ocean. But to me, there's strength here. To me, there's fortification in that relationship. That the relationship has its armor on. It's being protected. Okay? No matter what's happening, and I feel like that's kind of the way you're looking at that relationship too, is that it's protected. That even if, it's kind of like if it hails and your car gets all dented up, but you're inside the car and you're fine. It's kind of like that's kind of the vibe. And I kind of feel that regardless of what's going on in the world, this particular relationship is something that you value and you find it very sacred. And so you're not going to let anything happen to it. You're protecting it, basically, yeah. And I think that you have a commitment, you have a devotion and a loyalty to the relationship, whether it's your relationship with jiu-jitsu or with your friend, family member, spouse, whatever. Okay. I think that there is a need for discipline because we want to protect this relationship, so we might need to block out time and space for it. And maybe we need to put other things down or reschedule other things because we're protecting this event or this activity or this relationship. Okay. It's maybe it needs its own routine. If it's the car, then it's, of course, we're going to have to, schedule some time for that car. We got to maintain, like you change the oil or whatever, right? Pump up the tires and things like that. Have time to drive it, time to get it washed, time to sort of, work on it and replace certain parts here and there and whatever it needs. So this is that kind of devotional attentiveness to it. Yeah. And this is, it feels like your determination to make this work. Yeah. And you're letting your will sort of like determine your actions. You're letting your will drive the car here, not your mood, not your frustration, your will. And that's part of our Libra energy, the adjustment card here, and that's in the fear, worry, concern spot of the spread. And first of all, yes, because you might be questioning your decision, like, God, why did I commit to this? Do I still want it? I don't even have time for this. And so there might be that kind of doubt going on. But really, this card is about the prioritizing, really, is you're assigning weight to certain things. This relationship, like this Chariot here, this holds the weight. Everything else is kind of expendable. This is what matters. Okay, well, maybe this over here, this matters too. So these are kind of equal. But this is about the proper apportionment of your life. Okay, this is a rebalancing. Yeah. This is you assigning a value and weighing the options and using your higher wisdom and discernment to make decisions for your future. Not being impulsive, not letting our mood or our anger or our frustration drive the car. But you've got your hands upon the wheel and you're saying, this is a very important thing, and I want it to be successful, so I need to stick with it, which means I maybe need to take a break from it to go calm down. Maybe I need to, get rid of some other obligations in my life so I have more time for this thing. Okay. So we're adjusting our lives. And I think that it's that kind of conscious decision to give more attention to what matters and less attention to what doesn't matter. We're tipping the scales in a more appropriate way. This is real-time discernment, making choices in the moment. Making the right choices in the moment, choosing based on our perhaps understanding of karma, choosing based on will, based on purpose, based on our true alignment and our true commitment. The Ten of Wands basically tells us there's only 24 hours in a day. And if you really need to do jujitsu, if that's your commitment, if you've promised yourself to that relationship, you have to reassign some of those hours so that you can do what you've committed yourself to do. Yeah. So the Three of Swords then is that Saturn in Libra. That is your kind of restating the oath. To me, it feels like we're recognizing that this is a temporary. This is a temporary trough, a temporary rough patch, and that we're recommitting ourselves to fixing this. To repairing the relationship, to give it what it needs so that it can grow. Okay? But you don't have to deny how you feel. Okay? It's okay that we're frustrated. It's okay that we need a little bit of time away from this thing. We need a break from it. We need a break from something. Maybe you don't want to take a break from jujitsu. Maybe the problem is that you haven't had enough time to do it, and that's the problem, right? So something perhaps does need to be untied. This may be an anchor. This may be an obligation, a knot of karma that you're still holding on to that you need to let go of so you can be more free, so that you can resume the enjoyment of this current path. Okay? So maybe this card is asking you about your promises. Have you overpromised yourself to too many different things? What promises do you need to untie? And which promises do you need to tie tighter? Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. I want this to be a 9 of Cups. That's it. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments. Let's take a look. Okay, well, the Three of Wands again. 3 and 3 is 6. Okay, but that Three of Wands is us kind of getting a new perspective on it, waiting until the morrow and seeing how we feel, not making any major decisions right now, but allowing this frustration to sort of dissipate, venting it however we need to, and making a virtuous sort of decision moving forward. I think that you recognize the great potential that this thing has, and you don't want to abandon it. Problem is, we're just tired and overburdened and overworked, stretched too thin. Okay. This is you focusing again on character. And your character doesn't say, I quit when things get tough. No, your character says, I push through. I do whatever I need to sort of to honor my oath. You have a great respect for yourself and for the relationship, and you're taking it very seriously. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. Click on the link in the corner or the link in the video description. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.